Hi there, I'm Dami Haje, a video editor with 6 years of experience in the film industry, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to the Video Editing Quickstart with Adobe Premiere Pro course. In this course, you will learn all the essential tools and techniques to get you editing confidently in Premiere Pro. Whether it's your first time opening the program or you've dabbled in editing before but you're still struggling to get the hang of it. We'll start with the basics like getting familiar with the interface and importing medias, and we'll work our way up to cutting footage, syncing audios, and adding effects. By the end of this course, you will not only know how to navigate Premiere Pro but also have the skills to create and edit your very own video project from start to finish. We'll even go through a real project together, cutting, organizing, and polishing it until it's ready to export. Who is this course for? It's perfect for beginners who are just getting started, but intermediate learners will also benefit, especially if you've been finding other tutorials overwhelming or hard to follow. This course offers a fresh perspective, making it simpler and faster to grasp. What do you need to participate? Just a computer with Premiere Pro installed and willingness to learn. I'll be breaking things down, step by step, coming down to your level and guiding you all the way to the top. I've studied the existing tutorials out there and I noticed something that many students struggled with: information overload. That's why I'm doing things a little differently. I've designed this course with a focus on the psychology of learning video editing, making sure the process is as easy and intuitive as possible. So get ready. Let's dive in and unlock your potentials as a video editor. You have everything you need to cut and edit your first video with confidence. I'm excited to be your guide on this journey. Let's get started. Lesson 1. Welcome to Lesson 1 of our Adobe Premiere Pro Video Editing Quick Start course. If you're ready to kick off your editing journey, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to get cursive with the Premiere Pro interface, start a brand new project, and most importantly, get our files in order, because who doesn't love a bit of organization, right? Let's dive right in. Pro tip: before we get too deep into the magic, you want to make sure Premiere Pro is in tip-top shape. To do that, reset the preferences. Don't worry, it's super easy. Hold down Options in Mac OS or Alt in Windows. While launching Premiere Pro, click Continue in the Reset Options dialog box. Boom! Fresh start. Alright, now that you are all set, let's get rolling. Setting up a new project. Click here to create a new project file. Now, a quick note: don't just call your project something boring like Untitled. I've been there. Give it a name that will actually make sense to feature you. Once named, pick a spot to save it. I would recommend making a new folder just for this course. Trust me, your organized self will thank you later. Quick tour of the interface. Let me show you around Premiere Pro. It's kind of like your new playground. Project window. This is your media library. It's where you import and organize all your video clips, audio files, graphics, and other assets. Think of it like well-organized backpack. Source window. You use this to preview clips before you commit to adding them to the timeline. It's like dating your clips before marrying them into the edit. Timeline. Here is where all action happens. You cut, move, and arrange clips, add transitions, and sprinkle a little bit of editing magic. Program monitor. Want to see what your audience sees? This is where you preview the video that's playing on the timeline. Tools panel. It's a toolbox. This panel gives you all the tools you need to manipulate and edit your timeline. Spoiler alert: you'll be best friends with this panel soon. Importing your media. Okay, time to load up some content. Go to File, Import, pick your video footage and click Open. It's like inviting your clips to a party. They can't wait to be edited. To follow along, be sure to locate Project Asset 1 in the Asset folder provided for this course. This way, we are all working with the same files and it will be easier to keep up as we go. While we're on the topic of staying organized, let's make life easier by creating folders inside your project window. Make one for footage, one for audio, one for graphics, and a final one for sequences. Trust me, future you will love how tidy everything looks. Got your folder? Sweet. Now go ahead and move each file into its respective folder. Think of it as decluttering your workspace. Marie Kondo would be proud. Essential tools. Let's talk about a few of the tools that will become second nature to you. Selection tool V, your go-to for moving clips around. It's like the hand that reaches for snacks, only this time you're moving clips, not chips. Razor tool C, ready to slice things up. This tool cuts your clips wherever you need. It's like scissors for video. Undo, Command Z or Control Z. The holy grail of video editing. Made a mistake? Don't worry, just undo it. It's like Control Z is saying, we never speak of this again. Practice time. Take a few minutes to move your clips around, playing the layout and see how each tools work. This hands-on practice is the foundation of a smooth editing process. Plus, the more familiar you get with the interface, the less likely it feels like you're navigating a spaceship. If at any point you feel lost, it happens to the best of us. Feel free to rewind, pause, or replay any section of this lesson. Once you've got a good handle on the interface and your files are organized, high five, you've successfully completed lesson 1. What next? Click on lesson 2, where we'll start cutting clips, syncing audio, and making things look really good. See you there, editing pro in the making. Now that you've got the hang of setting up your project and navigating the interface, it's time to roll up our sleeves and dive into one of the most exciting parts of the video editing: cutting and organizing footage in the timeline. Before we jump into the steps, I want to point out something really important about editing. Whether you're putting together a commercial, a YouTube vlog, or a film scene, your ultimate goal is to tell a logical and emotionally impactful story. For this project, we're working with footage of a black boss lady working late in the office after everyone had gone home for the day. Each shot tells a part of a story. Different angles and framing sizes help to build the narratives and emotion. Now let's get to the fun part, the actual editing. Step 1. Previewing and selecting footage in the source monitor. First, we need to import our media if you haven't already done so. Make sure you've located Project Asset 1 from the asset folder provided in this course. Once you've got the media in your project window, double-click on one of the video clips to open it up in the source monitor. It should pop up in the top left area of your screen. Alright, let's take a moment to get familiar with the source monitor. This is where you preview your raw footage before adding it to the timeline. Use the play button or hit spacebar to watch the footage. You'll notice a little blue playhead that moves along as the footage plays. You can grab it and scrub through your video manually if you want to jump to specific points. Once you find the section of the clips you want to use, mark the beginning of that section by clicking the Mark In button, shortcut I, and mark the end with Mark Out, shortcut O. I'll do this in the footage of our boss lady working on her computer. I want a section where she's intently focused on her screen, so I will scrub through until I find that part. Mark it in and mark it out. Now it's your turn. Do the same. Scrub through the footage and find a section you like, and mark in and out points. Step 2. Adding clips to the timeline. Once you've selected your in and out points in the source monitor, it's time to add up the clip to the timeline. You can either drag the clip from the source monitor directly into the timeline, or click the insert button, look like an arrow, which places the clip into your timeline at the playhead's position. I'm dragging my selected clip to the timeline now. Quick brief on the timeline track and navigating them. Before we go deeper, let me quickly introduce you to the timeline tracks. Think of them as layers where you place your video and audio clips. V1, V2, V3 are video tracks. These are where your video clips will go. If you stack clips on different tracks, whichever is on the top will show up in the program monitor. A1, A2, A3 are audio tracks. You place your sound clips here. You can have multiple audio tracks, which is handy for music, dialogue, and sound effects. To navigate the timeline, use the plus or minus keys to zoom in and out, and scroll left or right to move across your timeline. This will help you stay organized as you add more clips and audio. Before going further, it is important to understand how to work within the timeline effectively. The timeline is where you spend most of your editing time, so getting comfortable with it early on will make the entire process smoother. Let's go over some essential timeline techniques and tools you'll use frequently. 1. Cutting and add edits. Cutting. Use the razor tool shortcut C to cut clips at specific points. This is useful when you want to trim down footage or remove unwanted sections. Add edit. You can also use the add edit function Ctrl K or Command K to quickly split a clip at the playhead's position without switching tools in a fast way to make precise cuts. 2. Snapping and gaps between clips. Snapping. Snapping ensures that clips automatically align when dragged near another clip, eliminating the risk of leaving gaps. Make sure snapping is enabled. Shortcut S. Gaps. Leaving gaps between clips in a timeline can create black frames during playback, which can be jarring to viewers. You can easily close gaps by dragging the clips together and using snapping to ensure they align perfectly. Alternatively, use the ripple delete function. Right-click on the gap, then select ripple delete. 3. Adjusting clip length by dragging. You can drag the edges of a clip to either decrease or increase its duration in the timeline. If you drag a clip shorter, you're trimming away parts of the footage. If you drag it longer, it will reveal more footage if available. 4. Overwriting clips. If you drag and drop a clip on top of another clip in the timeline, it will overwrite the existing clip. This can be helpful when you want to replace a shot, but make sure you are intentional about it, as the original footage will be replaced. 5. Duplicating clips. To duplicate a clip, simply hold down Alternate or Option on Mac and drag the clip to a new position in the timeline. This is a quick way to reuse a piece of footage without needing to import them. 6. Adjusting frames. If you have a clip that doesn't match the size of the timeline, you can right-click on it and select Set to Frame Size to resize this proportionally to fit within the frame. Take a moment to practice these techniques in the timeline, familiarizing yourself with how to cut, snap, and manage clips will give you more control over your edits and make the process much smoother as you move forward. Once you feel comfortable, continue with the lesson and begin organizing your clips and fine-tuning the cuts. Step 3. Organizing clips in the timeline. Now that we've got our first clip in the timeline, let's start organizing our shots logically. The key to start telling a compelling story is to arrange your clips in a way that makes sense. For this scene, I want to build a sense of the boss lady's late day grind. Next, I'll add another clip of her leaning back on her chair, maybe looking frustrated. To do this, I'll head back to the source monitor, find that moment, Set my in and out point and drag that clip to the timeline right after the first one. Your turn. Add more clips to your timeline. Think about what story you want to tell. Maybe the boss lady looks tired, then get a second wind. Or perhaps she receives an important email. The way you place these clips is part of building the story. Step 4. Fine-tuning with the razor tool. Alright, now it's time for some precision work. Sometimes, even after you add up a clip to the timeline, you may find that it needs further trimming. This is where the razor tool, shortcut C, comes into play. Select the razor tool and click on the point in the timeline where you want to cut a clip. You see the clip gets split right where you clicked. I'll use the razor tool to cut parts where the boss lady gets distracted and looks at her phone. It's a little long, so I'll trim it down and make the scene tighter. Go ahead. Use the razor tool to trim any excess footage or split your clips where needed. Step 5. Using the Add Edit function. Another way to cut directly in the timeline is with the Add Edit function. No shortcut this time, just a simple click. Here's what you do. Place your playhead over the shot. Place your playhead over the spot where you want to make a cut, or simply press Command K or Ctrl K. I'm using the Add Edit function here to cut a shot into 2 segments. It's a nice way to get precise cuts without switching to the razor tool. Your turn. Go ahead and try the Add Edit function by clicking on your clips where you want to split it. Step 6. Closing gaps in the timeline. If you've made cuts or moved clips around, you might notice gaps in your timeline. Let's close those up to make sure the video flows smoothly. Select the gap, right-click it, and choose Ripple Delete. This will automatically put the clips together, closing up the space. Watch as I close the gap between the 2 clips of the boss lady to make the scene feel more fluid. Now, it's your turn. Check your timeline for any gap and close them using Ripple Delete. Step 7. Operating and fine-tuning the timeline. Let's quickly recap how to navigate the timeline smoothly. Zoom in and out on the timeline by pressing plus or minus on your keyboard. This helps when you need to see details or a broader view of your project. You can move clips around by selecting and dragging them to a new position. Once you place your clips where you want them, use the razor tool and Add Edit function to fine-tune your edits. The goal here is to make each shot flow logically into the next, telling a coherent story of our boss lady's late work section. Step 8. Review your story. Once all your clips are cut, organized, and placed in the timeline, take a moment to review the scene. Does it flow? Does it tell the story you're aiming for? In this case, does it show the boss lady working late, maybe frustrated at first, but pushing through? Final thoughts. The purpose of putting clips together is to tell a meaningful story. Each cut should serve a purpose, whether it's advancing the narrative or emphasizing emotion. The tool in Premiere Pro, whether it's cutting, arranging, or trimming, help you craft a story that resonates emotionally or logically. It's okay if your edit isn't perfect. Now, if you've noticed that your edit doesn't look anything like mine, don't stress. I did that on purpose. The goal is for you to learn by doing. Editing is a skill that improves with practice, and everyone's approach is slightly different. If I had led you through every step, ensuring your edit matched mine perfectly, you wouldn't have had the chance to experiment and make decisions for yourself. The key here is trial and error. Your editing instinct will strengthen with each mistake you make and correct. If your sequence feels off, you can always start again and apply what you learned so far. Visual storytelling, logical editing you must know. Here are some exceptional storytelling techniques to help your edits feel more polished and coherent. 1. Maintain logical flow. When scrubbing for a clip and you find an important section, don't just drag and snap it next to the previous clip in the timeline. Your edit needs to flow sequentially and logically, matching the tone and continuity of the scene. Only break this rule if you're aiming for a deliberate jump cut effect for artistic reasons. 2. Sync with audio. Pay close attention to the audio, whether it's voiceover or dialogue. You want to cut your clips in a way that matches the emotional tone of the audio. For example, in this lesson, I synced my video clips with the voiceover track. If you are editing drama or dialogue scenes, you need to ensure the dialogue syncs perfectly with the on-screen action. 3. Mind the shot sizes. When editing, be conscious of framing sizes. For example, avoid cutting from one tight shot to another, unless the second shot is an even tighter one, or you are cutting to a wider shot for variety. The audience will keep up on any inconsistencies in framing, and flow may feel off if the cuts don't follow a logical progression. Now, let's apply what you've learned. If you're still unsure about your edit, don't worry. Go back and start all over using the new knowledge you've gained from this lesson. It doesn't matter how many times you repeat the process, as long as you learn and improve each time. Watch for continuity before your clips, ensuring that the action in one cut smoothly transitions to the next. By the end, your cut should feel seamless and emotional impact should come through clearly. Each action should logically continue in the next cut without any awkward lagging or discontinuity. Let's integrate that action continuity example in your lesson. Example: I have 2 clips of the boss lady who is immersed in her work, focused and determined. In the first clip, she is sitting at her desk, staring intensely at her computer screen. Then, she shifts her gaze, looking away from the computer and down at the stack of papers beside her. I want to cut from this moment of shifting focus into the next clip where she's already looking at the papers. First, I scrub through the initial clip and mark in right before she turns away from the computer screen. I mark out just as her eyes lands on the stack of the papers. Now, I grab a second clip where the boss lady is already focused on the paperwork. I want to continue the action of her looking at the papers, then shift it back to her computer. In the second clip, I mark in as she's staring at the papers and mark out right as she lifts her gaze, looking back at the computer screen. By placing these 2 clips back to back in the timeline, I create a smooth continuity of action. Sees her turning from the computer to the paperwork and then back to the computer again, showing the seamless transition between tasks as she remains absorbed in her work. This sequence helps highlight her intense focus and work ethic, which adds depth to the storytelling without any distracting cuts or jumps. Now, try this out with your footage. This type of cut is all about continuity of motion, and it's a key principle for keeping your audience engaged. When you're cutting between different angles of the same action, always make sure that the motion remains smooth and logical. Go ahead and apply this example to your own clip. Focus on keeping the flow of action intact. Great job so far. Once you are comfortable with your cuts and organization, you're ready to move on to the next stage, adding transitions and syncing audio in lesson 3. See you there. Lesson 3. Adding transition and syncing audio. Welcome back to lesson 3 of our Premiere Pro Quickstart course. By now, you've organized your clips in the timeline and told a rough version of your story. But to really bring everything together, we need to focus on 2 critical elements: smooth transitions and audio synchronization. Let's go step by step. Continue with our project of the boss lady working late in the office. You've already built the timeline, and now we'll focus on enhancing the storytelling with seamless transitions and perfectly synced audio. Step 1. Understanding transitions. Before we get hands-on, let's quickly discuss why transitions are important. Transitions help smooth the flow between shots, adding professionalism to your video. Whether you're cutting between two shots of the boss lady from different angles or moving one part of the scene to another, transitions can guide the audience through your story without jarring cuts. Step 2. Adding a basic transition. Cross dissolve. Let's start with the most commonly used transitions, the cross dissolve. This creates a subtle fade between two clips, which is ideal for smooth cuts. Here is how to add it. Select the edit point. In the timeline, find the points where two clips meet. Apply cross dissolve. Go to the effect panel, usually on the right hand side. In the search bar, type cross dissolve. Once it pops up, drag and drop it onto the edit points between two clips. Adjust the transition. After you apply the transitions, you can adjust its duration by dragging its edges in the timeline. A shorter duration will make the transition quicker, while a longer one will create a more gradual fade. I'll apply a cross dissolve between the shots where the boss lady is typing and one where she leans back in her chair. It will give a nice flow, showing a smooth passage of time. Your turn. Go ahead and apply a cross dissolve between two of your clips in the timeline. Exploring other transitions. While cross dissolve is a great go-to, Premiere Pro has other transitions that can add a bit more flavor to your edits. Here is a quick overview. Deep to black or deep to white. These are perfect for transitions between scenes or moments when you want to signal a passage of time. White transitions. This creates a slide-like effect and are useful for adding a bit of movement between clips. Feel free to play around with a few of these in your project. Just remember, transitions should enhance your story, not distract from it. A well-placed transition makes the video feel more polished and cohesive. Syncing audio with video. Alright, now that your transitions are set, let's focus on audio. In editing, syncing audio is crucial, especially if your footage has dialogue, voiceover, or sound effects that needs to match specific moments on screen. Now, let's sync our voiceover audio with the video. 1. Locate the voiceover. If you haven't added the voiceover audio yet, locate the Asset 1 folder and import it into Premiere Pro. Move it into the audio folder in the project panel to keep everything organized. 2. Expand the audio tracks. To make audio adjustments easier, you need to expand the audio tracks in your timeline. Do this by scrolling on the track with your mouse or using the shortcut Shift+ to expand and Shift- to collapse the track. 3. Drag the voiceover into the timeline. Place the voiceover audio track onto the Audio 1 track in your timeline, directly beneath the clips. 4. Sync the audio with the video. Play through your timeline and adjust the position of the audio track so it matches the action on screen. You can drag the audio left or right to get the perfect sync. Step 3. Adding background music and ticking clock sound effects. Now, we'll enhance the emotion and pacing of the video by adding background music and a ticking clock sound effect. This ticking clock will add a subtle but powerful sense of time passing, which ties into the theme of working late at the office. 1. Import background music and sound effects. Import both the background music and the ticking clock sound effects in your audio folder. 2. Drag the background music to the timeline. Place the background music on the Audio 2 track below the voiceover. 3. Add the ticking clock sound effect. Place the ticking clock sound effect on the Audio 3 track. You may want to loop the clock ticking throughout the scene or strategically place it during key moments to build tension and atmosphere. 4. Adjust volume levels. Use the audio track mixer or manually adjust the audio levels directly in the timeline. Expand the audio track using Shift+ and locate the horizontal audio line within the track. You can adjust the volume by dragging the line up or down. To fine-tune the volume over time, such as creating fades, adding keyframes to the line by holding Command or Control on Windows and clicking along the lines to set points. I'm lowering the background music slightly so it's not overpowering the message. Let's aim for balance here. Your turn. Adjust the volume of your audio tracks to match the tone and the mood of your video. Step 4. Adding fades to audio. To make your audio transitions smoother, let's add some fades. This is particularly useful at the start or end of a clip to avoid harsh audio cuts. 1. Fade in or fade out. Go to the Effects panel and search for Constant Gain for a gradual fade in or out, or Exponential Fade for a more dramatic effect. Drag these effects to the beginning or end of your audio clip. 2. Adjusting fade length. Just like the video transitions, you can extend or shorten the fade by dragging its edges in the timeline. The longer the fade, the smoother the transition. I'm adding a fade in to the background music so it doesn't start abruptly, and a fade out at the end of the ticking clock for a natural transition. This helps the audio blend smoothly and creates a more polished experience. Your turn. Add fades to the audio to create smooth transitions between different sound elements. By the end of this lesson, you've mastered how to add transitions, sync voiceover audio, and enhance your video with music and sound effects like the ticking clock. You've also learned how to adjust audio levels and apply fade for smoother transitions. When you're ready, move on to the next lesson where we'll cover color correction and adding titles. Keep going, you're doing amazing. Color correction, adding text or graphics. Welcome to lesson 4 of the Premiere Pro Quickstart course. We've already built the foundation of our video by organizing clips, adding transitions, and syncing audio. Now, it's time to give your project some professional polish by diving into color corrections and enhancing it with text and graphics. We're still working on our project with the footage of the boss lady staying late in the office, but now we'll make it visually pop and add the finishing touches. Step 1. Understanding color correction versus color grading. Before we start, it's important to know the difference between color correction and color grading. Color correction involves adjusting the colors in your footage so they look as natural as balanced as possible. Example, fixing the lighting if the shot is too dark, or the white balance if it's off. Color grading is more about applying stylistic effects, like making a scene look warm, cool, or giving it a cinematic tone. For now, we'll focus on color correction to ensure everything looks natural. Step 2. Basic color corrections using lumetric color. Premiere Pro comes with a built-in tool for color correction called lumetric color. Here is how to get started. 1. Select the clip. In the timeline, click on the first clip you want to correct. Example, the shot of the boss lady typing on her desk. 2. Open the lumetric color panel. Go to Window, Lumetric color to open the panel. 3. Basic corrections. In the basic correction section, start by adjusting exposure. This controls the overall brightness of the shot. If the shot is too dark, increase the exposure slightly. Contrast. Adjust this to make the whites brighter and the blacks darker, giving the shots more depth. White balance. If the colors looks too cool, blue, or too warm, yellow. Adjust the white balance to make the scene look more natural. Highlights or shadows. Adjust this to balance out the brighter and darker parts of the image. Take some time to make these adjustments for each of your clips, ensuring that the footage looks consistent throughout. I'll start by adjusting the exposure on the close-up of our boss lady to make sure her face is clearly visible without overexposing the shot. You should do the same with your footage, especially if some shots are darker than others. Your turn. Select one of your clips and begin adjusting the exposure and contrast using the Lumetric color panel. Step 3. Matching colors across multiple clips. After correcting individual clips, the next step is to make sure that all the shots match in terms of lighting and color. Premiere Pro makes this easy with its color match feature. 1. Select the clip to match. In the timeline, choose a clip that looks good as a reference. Maybe the white shot of the office looks best. 2. Apply color match. Select the other clip you want to adjust, like the close-up of the boss lady. Then, in the Lumetric color panel, go to the color wheels and match section. Click comparison view and choose the frame you want to match to. 3. Click apply match. Premiere Pro will automatically adjust the colors to match your reference clip. Another faster alternative in matching colors across multiple clips is copying and pasting attributes. This is a fast way to ensure your footage looks cohesive and doesn't feel disjointed. Your turn. Use the color match tool to match the colors between a couple of your clips. Another alternative to matching colors across multiple clips is by pasting attributes from one clip to others. This method is quick and ensures consistency across your project. Once you've color corrected one clip, you don't need to repeat the process for each one. You can copy and paste the color adjustments to other clips easily. 1. Select the corrected clip. After you've applied color correction to a clip, right-click on it in the timeline and select copy. 2. Select the other clips. Hold Shift and click on the other clips that need the same color correction. 3. Paste attributes. Right-click on any of the selected clips and choose Paste Attribute from the menu. 4. In the dialog box that appears, make sure to check the Lumetric color box or any other effect you applied, then click OK. This will apply the exact same color correction to all selected clips, saving you a lot of time. Your turn. Copy and paste the color correction from one clip to the rest of your project for consistent color grading. Step 4. Adding text and graphics. Now that your footage looks great, it's time to add titles and graphics to give your video more content or branding. Adding a basic title. Let's start with a simple text overlay, like an opening title or nameplate for the boss lady. 1. Text tool. In the toolbar, select the type tool T. 2. Add the title. Click anywhere on your program monitor and start typing. A text box will apply on where you can type in your text. Example, late at the office. 3. Formatting the text. In the Essential Graphics panel, go to Window, Essential Graphics. You can customize the font, size, color, and alignment. You can also drag the text around the program monitor to position it exactly where you want. 4. Adding a fade in or out. You can make the text apply smoother by adding a fade. Go to the Effects panel and find the Cross Dissolve effect and drag it onto the text layer in your timeline to create a smooth fade in or fade out. I'm adding a simple title that reads Late at the Office in the opening scene. It gives the audience an immediate sense of the setting. Your turn. Go ahead and add a title to your video. Whether it's a nameplate, a title, or a description, make sure it fits the tone of your project. Adding graphics or logos. Let's say you want to add a logo or a custom graphic to your video, perhaps a company logo or a watermark. Here is how. 1. Import the graphic. First, import the graphic file into your project. Just like importing video or audio, go to File, Import, and select the image file, e.g. a PNG logo. 2. Drag it to the timeline. Once it's in your project panel, drag the image file to the timeline above your video clip. This will create a new video layer. Resize and position. Use the Effects Controls panel to resize and position the graphic wherever you want on the screen. I'm adding a small watermark logo in the corner of the screen to give the video a more professional feel. It's subtle but adds a nice finishing touch. Your turn. Try adding a graphic or logo to your project. It could be a watermark, a logo, or an illustration that complements the story. Step 5. Reviewing your project. Now that you've added text, graphics, and adjusted the colors, let's play through the entire project. As you watch, keep an eye on how the color looks across different scenes and how the text or graphics fit into the overall video. Does the video feel cohesive with the adjusted colors? Titles or graphics add value to the storytelling without being distracting. If you spot anything that feels off, don't hesitate to go back and make adjustments. Final thoughts. Great job! By completing this lesson, you've taken your project to the next level with color correction, titles, and graphics. These are the fine details that really make your video stand out and feel polished. In the next lesson, Lesson 5, we'll wrap up the course by exporting your final project so you can share it with the world. Get ready to take your completed projects across the finish line. Lesson 5. Exporting your final video. Welcome to Lesson 5, the final step of our Premiere Pro Quickstart course. You've done an incredible job so far. Organizing your clips, syncing audio, adding transitions, doing color corrections, and incorporating text or graphics. Now it's time to export your final project and get it ready for sharing or uploading. In this lesson, we'll go over the process of exporting your video with the correct settings to ensure it looks great, no matter where it's viewed. Step 1. Understanding the export process. Before we dive into the steps, let's quickly cover what happens when we export a video. Exporting is when Premiere Pro takes all your edits, cuts, color corrections, transitions, and more and compiles them into a single playable video file. This is the file you upload to platforms like YouTube's, Vimeo, or share with clients. Step 2. Preparing your timeline for export. Before we export, let's make sure your timeline is clean and ready to go. 1. Play through the timeline. Start by playing through the entire video in the timeline from start to finish. Check for any unwanted gaps, cuts, or rough transitions. Make sure everything flows smoothly. 2. Check the audio levels. Make sure your audio is balanced, no clipping, and no audio that's too quiet. You can adjust levels in the audio track mixer if needed. 3. Final color tweaks. If any color corrections or grading looks inconsistent between shots, now's the time to make quick adjustments. Once you're happy with the video, it's time to move on to exporting. Setting the in and out points. The in and out points tell Premiere Pro what parts of the timeline to export. In most cases, you want to export the entire sequence. 1. Go to the timeline. At the very beginning of your timeline, press the key I. to set the in point. 2. Go to the end of the timeline. At the end of your timeline, press the O key to set the out point. This selects the entire timeline for export. This ensures that Premiere will export the full sequence and not leave out any clips or audio at the beginning or end, exporting your video. Now that everything is set, let's export your project. 1. Go to File, Export, Media. This will bring up the export setting window. 2. Format. Choose H.264 from the drop-down menu. This is the most common format for exporting video, and it ensures that your file will be compatible with platforms like YouTube, Vimeo, or social media. 3. Presets. Choose Match Source, High Bitrate. This setting ensures that the video will be exported in the highest quality based on your original footage. 4. Output name. Click on the blue text next to Output name to choose where to save the exported video file. Name it something easy to identify, like Final Boss Lady Project MP4. 5. Export entire sequence. Make sure that the entire sequence is selected in the source range section. At this point, you can review other settings, but the match source high bitrate preset should work perfectly for most projects. Your turn. Open up the export setting window, choose H.264 and make sure the match source high bitrate preset is selected. Checking the export setting. Before hitting export, double check these settings. Video, under the video tab, make sure the width and height matches your project setting, e.g. 19240 1080 for HD. Bitrate. If you want a higher quality export, increase the bitrate to 15 Mbps or higher. For most projects, keeping it at 10 Mbps is fine. Audio. In the audio tab, make sure that the audio format is set to AAC and that the sample rate is 48,000. Once everything looks good, you're ready to export. Step 6. Exporting the video. 1. Click Export. Once you're satisfied with the settings, click the Export button. Premiere Pro will start processing your video. 2. Wait for export to finish. Depending on the length and complexity of your project, this might take a few minutes. You'll see a progress bar as Premiere compiles the video. Once the export is complete, your video will be saved on the location you chose earlier. Your turn. Go ahead and click Export and let Premiere do its magic. Once it's done, locate the final file on your computer. Step 7. Reviewing the exported video. Before sharing your video, it is important to review the final file. 1. Open the exported video. Navigate to the folder where you saved the video and open it in your media player. 2. Check for issues. Watch through the entire video and check for any issues like glitches, audio sync problems, or color inconsistencies. Make sure the transitions are smooth and the video quality looks good.
She sits long after the world has quieted. While the office sleeps, she works. Every keystroke, every decision builds towards something greater. It's in these quiet hours that her dreams take shape. Her vision becomes reality. Determined, relentless. She knows that success isn't found in shortcuts, but in the perseverance to keep going when no one's watching. Because greatness is earned. And today, she's one step closer. This is more than just work. It's her story.
3. File size. Double check the file size to make sure it's appropriate for your needs. If it's too large, you can always go back and reduce the bitrate in the export settings to create a smaller file. Final thoughts. Congratulations! You've successfully exported your video and now it's ready to be shared with the world. Whether you're posting it on social media, sending it to clients, or adding it to your portfolios, you've learned the essential skills needed to edit, polish, and export a professional quality video. Course recap. In this course, you've learned how to navigate Premiere Pro's interface and tools, organize and import media into a project, edit and arrange clips in the timeline, add transitions, sync audio, and perform color correction, add text and graphics to your video, export your final project with the right setting for different platforms. You've come a long way, and now you have the foundational skills to take on bigger and more complex editing projects. Remember, the more you practice, the better you get. So keep creating. Thanks for taking this journey with me, and I hope to see your awesome video edits out in the world soon.
Hey everyone! Now that you're familiar with the basics, let's take a closer look at the project window. This is where you organize all the assets for your project: video, audios, graphics, you name it. A well-organized project window will save you time and help you stay on top of your workflow. Step 1. Organizing your media. The project window is a media library. Think of it like a digital filing cabinet for all project assets. Bins are your best friends here. They are basically folders that help you organize different types of media. Right-click inside the project window and choose New Bin, or just click the little folder icon at the bottom. You can name your bins based on asset type, footage, audios, graphics, etc. This makes finding your assets way easier later. Step 2. Searching and sorting. When you've got a lot of assets, you don't want to scroll through everything manually. The search bar in the project window lets you quickly locate specific clips. Just type in the name of your file in the results. It shows up in the results. Super easy. You can also sort your clips by names, media types, or duration by clicking the column headers in the list view. Pro tips: you can change the list view to icon view. If you prefer seeing thumbnails of your clips, it's handy for quick previewing your footage. Step 3. Previewing in the project window. You don't have to bring clips to the timeline or source monitor to get a look at them. Premiere lets you preview directly in the project window. Over the thumbnail of a clip, and you can scrub through the footage by moving your mouse left and right. Double-clicking a clip opens it in the source monitor for a more in-depth preview before you bring it into your timeline. Why it matters. The project window is the foundation of your project. Keeping it organized and fully customized will allow you to work faster and make your editing process smoother. That's it for this quick dive into the project window. Take some time to explore, get organized, and make it your own. Hey everyone! Now that you're getting the hang of things in Premiere Pro, let's take a quick detour and talk about something that will make your editing life so much easier: customizing your workspace. Trust me, once you've got things set up the way you like, your workflow will feel a whole lot smoother. Step 1. Rearranging panels. So first things first, let's move some panels around. Every panel you see, like your timeline, source, monitor, or effect panel, can be rearranged. To move a panel, click the name of the panel and drag it. You see some blue outlines appear as you move it around. Those are called drop zones. If it's a rectangle, that means it will add the panel as a tab in the group. If it's a trapezoid, that means it's going to create a new panel group. You can even make a panel float by dragging it completely. Try moving the source monitor out for a bit of a different film. Step 2. Resizing panels. Sometimes you need a bigger timeline or a larger monitor view. To resize, hover between two panels until your cursor turns into a double-headed arrow, then drag. You can adjust the source monitor, program monitor, and timeline this way to get the perfect amount of space for whatever tasks you're focusing on. Step 3. Saving your custom workspace. Got everything where you want it? Awesome! Let's save it. Go to Windows, Workspace, Save as new workspace. Give it a font name like Damiel's Power Setup. You can switch back to it anytime. Step 4. Resetting the workspace, just in case. If you ever feel like, wait, I messed up everything, no worries. Just head to Window, Workspace, Reset to saved layout, to go back to default or your last saved version. Why customized? Customizing your workspace isn't just about looking fancy. It's about making your workflow faster and easier. You spend less time hunting for panels and more time doing what you do best, editing. That's it for the bonus lesson. Play around with these settings and make Premiere Pro your home. You'll be surprised at how much more comfortable the whole editing process becomes. See you in the next lesson where we get back into editing magic. You've made it this far and now it's time to dive deeper into the source monitor and get some serious editing tips under your belt. Specifically, you're going to explore how to work with footage that has embedded audio, how to unlink it, and how to manipulate just the audio or video separately. Oh, and I'll show you how to link them back up when needed. Sounds good? Let's get started. We've talked about the source monitor before, but now let's take a closer look. This is your staging area where you can preview and make pre-edits to your clips before they hit the timeline. Key features of the source monitor. 1. Setting in and out point. Remember, just press I for your in point where you want the clip to start and hold for the out point where you want it to end. You can even trim the audio and video separately, but we'll get to that in a minute. 2. JK head playback control. I'm telling you, using J to rewind, K to pause, and L to fast forward is like driving with cruise control. Tap L a couple of times to speed through your clip. 3. Drag to timeline. After setting your in and out points, just drag the footage straight into your timeline. But remember, you can drag either video only or audio only from the icons below the source monitor. Perfect when you just need one or the other. Working with embedded audio, keeping things together or pulling them apart. Let's get to the fun part. Editing footage with embedded audio. This means you've got both audio and video in one clip, and they are connected. So when you cut or move them around in the timeline, they move together. But if you don't want that, what if you need to edit them separately? That's where things get interesting. Step 1. Cutting clips together. By default, when you make cuts in the timeline with the razor tool shortcut C, both the video and audio are cut together. That's because they are linked. So, if you need to make cuts in sync, like chopping up a clip for a montage, this setup works great. Step 2. Unlinking to edit separately. But what if you want to cut just the audio or just the video? That's when you want to unlink them. Here is how you do it. 1. Select the clip in a timeline, find your embedded video or audio clip on the timeline. 2. Right-click, select Unlink from the drop-down menu. Boom! Now the video and audio are two separate entities. 3. Cut or move them independently. Once unlinked, you can select just the video or just the audio by clicking on either track. When you do, the one that's selected will be highlighted so you know exactly which one you're working on. Your turn. Unlink a video and audio clip, then make a cut to just the audio or just the video. Step 3. Using Alt or Option for quick control. Want an even faster way to work with just the audio or just the video without unlinking them? Use Alt in Windows or Option in Mac OS. Here is how. 1. Hold down Alt or Option and click on either the video or audio track in the timeline. 2. Now you can move or cut just the parts you clicked on without affecting the other track. Super handy, right? This is a great trick for those moments when you want to manipulate one part of the clip without fully unlinking the audio and video. Step 4. Relinking audio and video. But let's say you've edited your clips and now you want to link them back up. 1. Select both the audio and video tracks. Hold Shift and click them both. 2. Right-click and select link. Just like that, they are working together again. Important tip: when you're working with a lot of embedded audio, keep in mind that each track has its own life. If your audio is recorded separately and synced later, you want to link it to the video to make sure they don't drift apart during the editing process. Also, when a track, either audio or video, is selected, it will be highlighted, making it clear which one you're working on. Always keep an eye on what's selected to avoid any accidental edits. Alright, time to put everything we've learned into practice. Take a clip with embedded audio and 1. Cut the clip as a whole, both audio and video. 2. Unlink the audio and video, then cut just the audio or just the video. 3. Use Alt or Option to move or cut either the audio or video without unlinking. 4. Finally, link them back together once you've made your changes. By the end of this bonus lesson, you'll be confidently working with footage that has embedded audio, making smooth edits, and using the source monitor like a pro. Now you're ready to tackle more complex edits and speed up your workflow. Keep practicing, and as always, enjoy the process. See you in the next course. Congratulations! You can now edit videos like a pro. You've made it to the end of the course. Congratulations! Now you have the skills to confidently edit videos in Premiere Pro. You've learned the basics, from importing media and cutting clips to color corrections, adding graphics and exporting your final projects. But here's the thing: practice makes perfect. The more you work on your editing skills, the better and faster you become. Don't stop here. Editing is an art, and every new project you work on will teach you something new. Keep experimenting, be creative, and most importantly, enjoy the process. Next steps: furthering your learning. Editing is a skill that grows with time and practice. To further your learning, experiment with the new editing techniques. Try out different types of transitions, effects, or color grading styles. Watch tutorials and learn from other editors. See how they approach storytelling and creativity. Take on real-world projects. The best way to grow is by practicing on actual content. Whether it's personal projects, freelance gigs, or even editing for fun, every project helps you refine your skills. Stay connected and grow with me. I'm so excited to have been part of your journey in video editing, but this is just the beginning. Stay tuned and follow me as I continue creating more courses to help you grow your video editing skills. My goal is to take you step by step from beginner to advanced, to the point where you become a professional video editor. The road ahead is full of learning opportunities, and I'll be right here to guide you through it. Together, we'll reach the top. Call to action. Let's keep going. 1. Leave a review. Your feedback means everything to me. If you enjoyed this course, please take a moment to leave a rating and review. Your review will help me improve future courses and reach more students like you. 2. Share your project. I would love to see the work you've created in this course. Once you've finished your project, upload it to Google Drive and share the link in the project section of this course. I'll be providing detailed feedback to help you improve your editing. 3. Stay tuned for more. If you're ready to take your editing skills to the next level, I have more courses coming your way. Keep an eye out for my next course, Advanced Video Editing with Adobe Premiere Pro, where we'll dive deeper into more complex techniques. This will help elevate your work to a professional standard. Once again,
Congratulations on completing this course. You built a strong foundation and I can't wait to see what amazing videos you create. Let's keep pushing those creative boundaries together. Stay tuned and keep editing. We're just getting started.